And I'm live. Look at that. Hello, Go Time Now. I see you there. I see your comment. I'm really excited to be here live right now. Now, I got to tell you something that's a little bit funny. If the quality is a little off, like the video quality and the sound quality, it's because I'm coming to you live on my cell phone. My laptop decided to die pretty much right at the last second, right before I got on here. So that's awesome. So I'm coming to you live on my cell phone, but I figure even if the quality's a little bit less, that's just Durbania unplugged, right? No editing, no muss, no fuss. We're just going to hang out together and have a good time. So this is my Ask Me Anything. So make sure in the comments you start asking me questions and things like that. And start leaving some stuff in that live chat right now because I'm looking at my phone screen. I want to make sure that actually the comments and questions start rising up there on the side. Otherwise, I might have to actually move to another. There it is. Hello, Go Time Now. I see you. Thank you. Hello, Jeremiah Brooks. Thank you so much for saying hi. Good. I'm excited. Okay, I can see your comments, and I'm so excited. So again, ask me anything. Hey, Joseph Logan, how you doing, man? Seth Draven, what is up? And oh wait, hold on. Oh, it faded away. All right. Well, ask me anything. Just shoot away. So this week, I had planned to do a few more videos than I actually have released. The reason you're not seeing some of those other videos. Oh, my wife just. I'm like, what is that loud noise? It's my wife. Let me tell you how cool my wife is. She just got in the mail. What was that game you just got in the mail?
Animal Crossing.
She just got Animal Crossing. And she's sitting right here off screen to make sure that I don't miss your questions. Say thank you to Laura. That's awesome. Like, she doesn't do a lot of gaming. So the fact that she was excited about a game and is over here. So let's kick this off. This week, I've been doing a lot of stuff for my church. And, because of, the coronavirus, our church service will not be actually in person on Sunday. So I actually recorded and I'm editing right now. I'm in the process of editing the entire Sunday service, worship, sermon, everything. It's quite an ordeal, but it's such an honor to be able to do that. So, Laura, did any questions pop up?
What are some, I'm going to butcher her name, Ego Hosa Atula.
Ego Hosa
They
Atula.
said hello, Durbania. What are some of your favorite female characters of all time?
Some of my favorite female characters of all time. Oh, let me think about that. Let's see. Well, one of them is the Smallville Lois Lane. I always thought that she was awesome. In fact, when I was watching Smallville, I liked how strong-willed she is. And I liked her fierceness and her independence. And I went, God, I want my own Lois Lane. Boy, did he answer that. And then some with my wife, Laura. She's definitely that. I could throw out some of the obvious ones, too, that are just out. I like Black Widow. I think she's pretty darn awesome. Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. My gosh, she's perfect for that role. Oh, let me think. Who else, Laura? She's thinking.
I know
there's a lot.
Yeah,
but, for what just popped up in my head, those are the ones that popped up in my head. What else do we got?
Go Time Now wants to know if you watch anime.
Go Time Now, I do watch a little anime, and I've been getting into it more recently. In fact, Richard_22 did a request on my YouTube channel for me to watch Castlevania. So I just finished season 1 of Castlevania, which is only like 4 episodes. It's incredibly gory. It earned its TVMA rating, but it is some really, really good writing. And I got to say that I've really enjoyed it in the religious undertones. And there's a few anime movies that I have checked out. Is it? I forget what it's called. Appleseed X Machina? No, that's
Appleseed.
Yep.
I believe
Appleseed. Anyway, I've seen a lot of good anime movies, and I'm trying to get into it more, especially now that we're all quarantined. Might as well check it out more right now.
Brandon with WWE Lent says, "What's up? I was at Disneyland and met Tigger, so cool."
That's awesome.
Joseph Logan said, "Been missing you guys at church."
I've been missing you too, Joseph. Come back. Well, I almost said come back to church.
Yeah, one for back.
Come back online. agapeslow.online.church. Yeah.
Okay. And then Joey's movie blog says the apocalypse isn't as cool as the media makes it out to be.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Eagle Wing wants to know, I was wondering what your favorite Chris Pine Star Trek movie is.
Eagle's Wings, my favorite Chris Pine Star Trek movie. I think It's for me, it's Into Darkness. I really do like the first one. It's really cool, and I know a lot of people probably don't like Into Darkness as much, but I really did. I thought Into Darkness was just incredibly good.
Joey's movie blog wants to know if you play any tabletop role-playing games.
I do not. My brother-in-law did for a while and got really into them, and the way he would describe them, it made me jealous and want to. So I would like to. Do you have any suggestions?
Film Trigger wants to know.
Oh, Steve.
Is now he wants to know if it's boxers or briefs.
Is it boxers or briefs?
Yeah.
It's boxer briefs.
Yeah, a little both. Adrian asked, what is your most favorite shirt that you've worn during the video?
My most favorite shirt that I've worn during a video. Well, actually, the one that I'm wearing, I wear this a lot just because it is one of my favorites. I had this really cool black Superman t-shirt with a silver S on it. That was probably also one of my favorites.
Brian wants to know what got you into doing theological analysis on YouTube. And he said that I got into virtue ethics as a teenager and I still love doing it.
Nice. Well, Brian, what got me into theological analyses on YouTube was my brother-in-laws and I, actually. Long before I had a YouTube channel, we would all go see movies together when they'd come out every summer. And it's hilarious. We would sit there and drive my youngest brother-in-law nuts, analyzing these movies to death and just digging so deep. And we were always finding all these Jesus connections and Christian connections because, we're all believers. And so that's the lens through which we see it. And so we're like finding all of those things. And then I was working in Christian radio for 14 years. The last station I worked for was listener supported, and listeners quit supporting. So of course it went under. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I was going to do kind of like a sermon-y podcast. And my dad said, son, that's stupid. Do something unique. You love movies. You love talking about God. Do something like that. And bada bang, bada boom, there it is.
Well, this question is very similar from Nathan. He said, what inspired you to make spiritual-based analysis of the movies? And says, I love your uplifting tone of your videos.
Well, thank you so much for that. Well, really just what inspired me is I just want to share the message of Jesus in a relatable way and try to be the least amount of corny as I can. And something for me that I'm always passionate about is movies and nerdy movies and comic book movies. And I always like to try to find that anyway. I always like to try to find that symbolism. So I just thought, why not just talk about that with all you guys?
Joseph wants to know, have you ever thought of doing a review of a video game Vampire?
Video game Vampire.
I'm guessing it's Vampire.
Vampire.
Sure. It's a Vampyr.
Yeah, probably Vampire. I need to play that video game. I don't do a lot of gaming reviews here because basically I just have a Nintendo Switch. And that's about it. I don't have like a PlayStation 4 or Xbox or anything with like all the latest stuff. Like, I'm not the biggest gamer, but I do love a good game. So yeah, that's kind of why I don't do a ton of game reviews here.
Ghost Time Now wants to know what you think of the Predator franchise and when do you think they should have ended it or what new direction would you want to go?
When should they have? Here's what I think of the Predator franchise. It's overall pretty good. Like the first movie's the best. Honestly, if you want to know where I think they should have ended it, should have been a one-off. I mean, that first one is just, the second one isn't like horrible, but it ain't great. I can't remember the third one now. Point is I really think the first one is the best. I love it. Get to the chopper. And so then when, that, it just should stick around. That's Laura's favorite line when Arnold Schwarzenegger throws the dagger and it pins the guy to the wall.
Giant rubber knife.
Yes, and it's a giant rubber knife and Schwarzenegger goes, stick around. That is Laura's favorite line ever, I think.
Phil Turner wants to know what your favorite cinematic Superman suit is.
My favorite cinematic Superman suit, I think I got to go with Man of Steel. I like that one probably the best. I like the lack of the underwear on the outside and kind of like the little designs in the suit itself. So I like that one.
Jeremiah wants to know what your favorite Narnia book is.
Oh gosh, my favorite Narnia book. That's so hard. Let me see. I'm on Voyage of the Dawn Treader right now. That book is freaking fantastic. That's definitely one of my favorites. I love studying end times. So the last battle is also fantastic for me. In fact, when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of the idea of like dying and going into eternity, even if it was heaven, because for some reason the idea of eternity was freaky to me. Then I read The Last Battle and I was like, well, that just sounds wonderful. It's amazing, like, how when you can get your imagination turned the right way, it can get rid of some fear. It was cool to find that in The Last Battle. But I think The Magician's Nephew takes the cake for my favorite. It's just brilliant.
Joey's movie box is the one I think that's your alley of Shadowrun. I think I don't know if that's a tabletop game, I believe.
Is that a tabletop game? I'm gonna go with yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it, but that sounds cool.
There's actually somebody here locally who invited me to do some tabletop games. So as soon as this quarantine is over, I'm gonna have to take him up on that.
And then Brandon says it's good to spread God's word, and then ask if you play Kingdom Hearts 3.
I have not played any of the Kingdom Hearts games. Am I a bad person?
Anime 116 Jesus Free for Life said you need to watch Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden. Violet Evergarden. Laura,
Okay,
Violet Evergarden. We're writing it down. I will check out Violet Evergarden.
Joseph says the Emperor is available for the Switch. I also have a Switch. My favorite game is Mario Kart 8.
Yes, Mario Kart 8 is fantastic. I love all the Mario Kart games. I'm going to turn one of these lights down. It's driving me nuts.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, Laura's got it. That's why you get married.
So Ghost Time Now wants to know what you think. There's only one on that one. I want to know what you think of the Narnia movie.
Well, let's see. I think Lion Witch in the Wardrobe is probably the best in terms of being. Yeah, turn that back on. Probably the best in terms of being closest to the book. I think Voyage of the Dawn Treader is fun. It's pretty close to the book. I mean, it did the islands out of order and added stuff. But I kind of like the adventure aspect that they added because they also added that layer of overcoming temptation, which I thought was cool. I do like Prince Caspian, but it is just so radically different from the book. Sometimes it's hard to get into. So I think in order, Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, Voyage of the Dawn Treader with Prince Caspian following up the rear, but I like all three.
Jeremiah says Magician's Nephew is his favorite as well, and can fit in a day.
Yep, you can finish those books in a day. That's so great about them.
Nathan said, I know this would take a lot of time, so would you ever consider doing more book analysis like Session, etc.?
You know what? I would. So I am going to do some more. The next one I have planned is the Silver Chair, and then I'm going to do the Last Battle after that, because I've already done the 3 movies, and so when I do those next couple books, it'll round out basically all of Narnia. And then after that, definitely drop me some book suggestions. I definitely should do some more Tolkien. I've read all the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. Silmarillion was probably one of the hardest reads I have ever done. It was worth it. The Silmarillion, you guys watching right now, if you've never read the Silmarillion, it fills in a lot of gaps with the Lord of the Rings and fills it with so much context. It is really, really cool. But it is probably one of the hardest books ever.
So, Ghost Time Now, this is up your alley.
Okay.
I really recommend the anime My Hero Academia. It's basically the anime version of DC and Marvel mixed together.
My Hero Academia. Okay, I will definitely check that out. Thank you so much for that.
Joseph says he personally prefers the BBC version of Narnia rather than the Disney version.
Joseph, the good thing about those BBC versions is how unbelievably close they are to the book. The bad thing about those BBC versions is watching people dressed like giant beavers. You can't unsee that. It looks terrible.
So, Eagle Wings wants to know what your thought is on the latest season of Clone Wars, and he said that he personally enjoyed the first 4 episodes a good amount, but the one that came out today was pretty disappointing.
Well, I'm actually, I think right now I'm 2 episodes behind. I ended up with a lot of work, so I was going to review all of season 7 together anyway. But I will say the first couple episodes I've seen, they're good. Season 6, though, was infinitely better. It was so interesting, and it just pulled me in. And I think part of it is the fact that I was able to binge everything up till 7. And I think that's one reason 7 is going a little bit slower for me. But I do find it kind of interesting. Spoiler, finding Echo and that he isn't dead, that whole plot line is actually kind of interesting. And I'm curious, though, to get deeper into season 7. If this is the final season, no, it's only going to pick up.
Enemy said Violet Evergarden is an anime,
Violet
but
Evergarden.
I
Violet
would
Evergarden.
love to see a theological review from you on it. It made me cry a lot. Also, what's your favorite Red song? Mine is Gone.
My favorite what song?
Red.
Red song. Oh gosh, I think Let Go. I think Let Go would be my favorite.
I now want to know what your high school life was like.
My high school life. Hey, Film Trigger, are you still there? You could fill in some of those gaps. I went to high school with Steve at Film Trigger. Let's see. What was my high school life like? I was, look how skinny I am. I was way more skinny. If you,
Theater kid.
I was a theater kid for sure, but I didn't do high school drama. I did downtown drama. I was in Columbus, Ohio. Davis Discovery Center was the name of the community theater that I went and did all kinds of community theater at. John Heisel was the guy who directed all the shows that I did. I did mostly Shakespeare because I hated singing, and there wasn't a lot of singing in Shakespeare. So I was the drama kid. I I was like 50 times more hyper than I am.
The Berkeley kid said, not sure if you remember the lyrics exactly, but do you think the words "He lives in you" from the Lion King has religious subtext? And then said, sorry if this question isn't really your thing. I'm a repeat sub.
Yeah, well,
Well, it is his thing.
yeah, that is kind of
Yeah.
my very good question. And yes, that is my thing. So with the Lion King, you see, he lives in you. And so what we're finding is the Father lives in Simba. And you can definitely take that spiritually because God the Father lives in us when we invite him in our heart. And kind of like Simba had to take that time to kind of calm his mind and listen. And you kind of see that when the water's still, kind of symbolic of his mind stilling, and he sees Mufasa's reflection and in place of his. That's what we got to do in our minds and listen to our Father.
Jonathan said there might be an issue with the audio. So can people respond if they can hear you?
If you can hear me, send a response. Is it Laura that is the problem? Because she's kind of off to the side, and does she need to scoot just a little bit closer? Or is it me? The real problem with the audio is this. I'm on my cell phone because my computer, my laptop went kaput right before we did this.
Film Trigger, in regards to your high school friends, if you were a dork, and that's
Yep.
why you guys were friends.
Thank you, Film Trigger. I was a dork, and that is why we were friends. He was kind of a nerd too, but in a much cooler way.
Okay, audio is very quiet.
Audio is.
Talk loudly.
Let me do this. How is the audio now? I scooted back so I could get more of my head in there, but how is it now? Now that I've scooted closer, I can definitely talk louder for sure.
Seth wants to know who your favorite live action Batman is, and said his is Ben Affleck.
Oh man, my favorite live action Batman. Nostalgia-wise, it's Michael Keaton because I was beyond excited to see the 1989 Batman movie. I mean, I was so excited to see that movie. But I think I might agree with you, Seth. Ben Affleck, one of the reasons is he could turn his head no problem. And the way he fought, I mean, when we watched him actually fight in the warehouse scene, this was a Batman that could actually move around. So, like, I think for that reason, I don't know how I felt about his Bruce Wayne, but when he had the Batman mask on, I enjoyed that a lot.
Jeremiah said not much change in the audio, but it's fine.
Not much change in the audio. Okay. Well, you let me know if it gets worse. How about that?
Joseph said, I'd love to hear your theological analysis of the TV movies and the TV show.
Oh boy. Okay. I will throw that in the list, and hopefully this quarantine will lift before I get there.
Are you considering doing an analysis on Event Horizon?
Oh, that is a dark movie. I could do one on that. It is. I haven't seen that probably since I was a teenager, but that is a dark movie, opening the gateway to hell. That would be a good one for a theological analysis. I'll throw that on the list too.
Film Trigger agrees to ask this 100%. And then Eagles News says, what are your thoughts on the live action Ahsoka being the Mandalorian season 2?
I am so excited about the live action Ahsoka coming to Mandalorian season 2. Ahsoka so quickly became my favorite Jedi as we got through all of the Clone Wars. And spoiler alert, when we get to season 5, her decision for not being a Jedi, oh my gosh, it was heart-wrenching, but I was 100% on her side, and I was super sad to see her go.
Pinkie Pie Pie.
Hi, Pinkie Pie.
trying to put a name. Damien the Icon Scott. So just joining and says, what's up?
What's up, Damien?
Go time now. So what do you think of the FF franchise? I kind of wish you could explore other side characters like Romaine, Lucas, Ramsey, and Letty instead of Dawn having so much family members.
Well, if you want, okay, you ready for this? This is bound to get me some thumbs down. Here we go. Fast and the Furious is the Sharknado of car movies. They are beyond ridiculous. And I feel like if you go see Bloodshot, that's the prequel. It shows you how they all got their mystical powers, that they survive everything. But you know what? They're so ridiculous. It's like Sharknado, where it's just hysterically fun. So, yeah, I like it. It's not my favorite of franchises. I can't believe they just keep pumping out more of these movies. But yeah, they're fun.
Edosa wants to know if you are a fan of critics like Siskel and Ebert.
Am I a fan of critics like Siskel and Ebert? I don't have an opinion on critics like Siskel and Ebert because once upon a time I held this opinion that the job of a movie reviewer was an absolute joke because it's based on your opinion and what you happen to like. So, and it's funny because I still kind of think that, which is why I do this for the pure fun of doing it.
And 116 said, did you give Clone Super 99 a salute when he died during season 2, episode 2 of the show?
I did not. Now I feel really guilty.
Jonathan says, speaking of Ben Affleck, have you seen Phantom?
Have I seen Phantom? What's Phantom? I don't think so. I haven't seen it, obviously. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. Is it good? Should I watch it?
Damien Ion says, what movie you last saw in theaters before they closed? I saw Bad Boys for Life and The Way Back.
Yeah, the last movie I saw right before everything closed was Bloodshot. And that was okay. It's just, I didn't think that was worth the trip.
May I ask from Pinkie Pie?
Pinkie Pie.
May I ask, can you review the Spectacular Spider-Man show at the animated show?
I probably could. It's right there on Disney Plus, and now we're quarantined, so we got like all this time. So I'll throw that on there. I'm going through Castlevania, which I should be able to get to that really quick. So yeah.
That says I've never actually watched Clone Wars and then did a high movie.
Well, Seth, it's good. In my honest opinion of Clone Wars, so here's a quick Clone Wars review. I feel like the early seasons kind of fluctuate between being really great and kind of meh, but then especially as you get like towards the end of season 4, season 5, and season 6, it's better than most of the movies.
The Dirt Dirty Kid said, what do you think about the movie industry in general and Hollywood?
Wow, what do I think of them generally? Gosh. Well, let's just put it this way. I like movies. I like to like movies. And so when I go in, I want to like movies. It bugs me when you have movies like Justice League and they interrupt, the studio steps in, interrupts the vision while they're shooting it. The script is already written and the cameras are already rolling. And this also happened with the reboot of Fantastic Four. And it's like things like that tick me off. But whatever. I mean, if you work in Hollywood, you're playing pretend for a living. And I love it.
They're having a hard time getting to this.
Okay. So do I just need to break this? You know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. Oh man. Oh, I wish my laptop worked. I'm sorry. Say the question again. My favorite Harry Potter book is The Half-Blood Prince. My favorite Harry Potter movie is The Final Haha, I did it. Okay. Now tell me, this is so high quality for YouTube, isn't it? Okay, so hopefully this uncovered the mic and you can hear me better. What was the question one more time?
Star Trek Picard.
Star Trek Picard is most excellent. I love it. I wouldn't say I'm a Trekkie. I'm more of a casual.
Now I can hear you at last, the audio. Sorry.
So, that thing.
It was blocking.
Look at this. Let me show you.
No.
This thing right here is what I had it in, and it was blocking the microphone really good. So, yay. All right. Anyway, what was the question? So easily distracted.
You're talking about Star Trek Picard.
It's amazing. I love Picard. I'm not a Trekkie, but I am a fan of Star Trek. It does help that I recently binged all of the Next Generation on Netflix. So, like, I'm catching a lot of things I wouldn't have caught normally. And I still haven't watched Star Trek Voyager, so I'm sure there's things, like, I'm missing there. But I will say that as a whole, it's amazing. And I don't feel like you need all of the shows to get it, but it certainly does help a little bit.
Jonathan says Phantoms is a horror movie where an entire town is devoured by an underground creature, and that creature gets convinced that it's Satan. That sounds good.
I want to watch Phantoms. That is a fantastic description, and you sold me on that.
Go Time Now says, do you think that the legendary Bible stories could be adapted into movie form?
The legendary Bible stories. I think so. You just got to get the right people to make them. I mean, come on. You could do an amazing trilogy on David, and that could be absolutely incredible. Let's see. Who else could you do an amazing story?
The Chosen.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you haven't checked out The Chosen, it's a free app. And I did a review on it, so you could search Durbania The Chosen and find my review. But it's the first time they've taken the story of Jesus and made it into a live-action TV series.
Okay, Film Trigger said you might be covering the microphone with your hands.
Oh, son of a monkey. Yeah, I am. This is... Oh, no! We're fine. Nobody panic. Okay, we got this.
Okay, do you think the great storytelling can exist in blockbusters along with art stories?
Yes. Sometimes art stories just drive me nuts, and I definitely prefer blockbusters. But, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't have a great movie with a great story in there.
Brian said, I'm thinking of doing a side story in Narnia that focuses on side characters like the beavers and the owls. My next question is, do you think the lands or the people are more interesting part of it?
The lands or the people? Honestly, I think with Narnia, it's the people that are the most interesting. The lands is most interesting when you read Tolkien and things like that, like the way he describes the land and the country. I feel like the most interesting thing in Narnia is the people and getting into like their life.
Berserk the Kid said, what book of the Bible would you like to see become a blockbuster? Personally, I'd pick Esther, and I'd also like to hear your wife's reply if she wants to.
What do you think, Laura?
See, I like all the stories in the Old Testament with some of the judges. I would totally want to see stuff with David, Samson. But Samson would be weird.
Well, they just recently did a Samson movie on PureFlix, which, I don't know. Like, Samson's okay.
Esther, Ruth, those would also be awesome.
Yeah, Esther, I think, would be a good one. They've made a couple of movies like that. One Night with the King is a good Esther movie if you've never heard of it. I think it is worth checking out. Honestly, I want to see a King David trilogy. Because everybody does, David vs. Goliath, which is a fantastic movie, but his life is full of incredibly interesting things. And if you did a trilogy, you could really encompass so much more.
Anime 116 says, what's your favorite IRL handgun? Mine's the Glock 19.
I don't know. I did an acting shooting course. So one of my friends and he was actually on my channel way back. We did a review for the Magnificent Seven. And if you go to Durban Experiences, we did a lot of really cool shooting with Western and cowboy guns. So probably those cowboy guns are my favorite.
Damien Khan, I'm going to just call him Scott. Have you heard that Scream 5 is in the works?
I have heard that Scream 5 is in the works. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of Scream.
Go Time Now says, what is your top 5 Jesus story movie?
Okay, my arms are getting tired. So I'm just trying to find a place to put this. My favorite Jesus movie. That's a good question.
Top 5 Jesus story movie.
Let's see. Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
I cannot figure out where to put this thing. My one tripod failed me by covering the microphone. There, are you okay looking up to me like that? Like, I'm trying to avoid that, but I don't think I can.
Good. It looks good.
Hey, I hope, are you guys enjoying this? Even though, like, you can't hear me half the time, or I'm dropping the phone. Film Trigger, thank you. Best live stream ever. Top 5 Jesus movies. Passion of the Christ is definitely up there. It's brutal and it's hard to watch, but the fact that it's in like the original languages and he did his best to recreate that, I think that's incredible. Let's see. Greatest story ever told. Pretty old, but pretty good. The Chosen, which is a live-action TV series, free app that you can download, and I highly recommend it because it was just that good. I think that's probably one of the best tellings I've seen so far.
You like Joseph also. The Joseph.
Oh, yeah. They did the, on TNT back in the mid-90s, they did a lot of Bible stories. So they got the story of Joseph, which was the best one they did. Then they got Moses, then they got Abraham. Like, they got a lot of cool stuff.
Film Trigger said Revelations would be an interesting movie series.
It really would be. Just not left behind.
Scott says, did you and your wife have an opinion on last year's movie Bombshell? I feel like I remember it.
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't see that. That was the one with the ladies of Fox News.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
I did not see that, and I didn't even care to see that, to be honest. Sometimes when things get, like, too political and everybody wants to bash one news organization or the other, I'm just like, I'm done. I don't even want to participate.
Eagles Wing says, what are your thoughts on PureFlix movies? Personally, not a big fan myself. I
am going to agree with you. I feel like Christian movies can be good. They can be. They're not. There's exceptions to that rule. Like Risen is fantastic. I think that's a great movie. But PureFlix, there's not a whole lot on there that really appeals to me.
Jonathan says, have you seen Color Out of Space yet?
I have not, but it is on my list during this quarantine time. So I will get there. And when I saw the trailer, I went, yes.
You're great. This is truly fun. I'm enjoying this.
Good.
Mania, you're cracking me up.
Well,
I love this
glad.
live. Berserk the Kid says, have you watched Prince of Egypt? I love the score. If you did, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part in Prince of Egypt is the burning bush scene. And the reason is just how Val Kilmer voiced both Moses and God. And the way he voiced God in that scene, it was so unbelievably good. And it was just the inflection of his voice up and down as he did the lines. I love that scene with the burning bush.
Igahosa says, what are some of the movies that really made you so interested in movies? Mr. Smith Goes to Washington from 1939 got me into movies when I was 15.
Wow, what got me into movies? That's really hard.
Hard.
You know, let me just be honest with you. When I was a toddler, my mother had a VHS tape for me and put hours and hours worth of movies on that tape. And they weren't kids' movies. They were Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer, the Dark Crystal, the Labyrinth, and what else? I mean,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, no, I saw that on the big screen. Oh. But I think just because like my mom had this VHS tape for me and she loves movies and has loved those type of movies, I just feel like, I don't know, I couldn't escape it. And I loved them from a young age.
Film Trigger said, ha, Left Behind, good time. What is your favorite guilty pleasure film?
My favorite guilty pleasure film? Oh, you know what's going to be sad is we're going to end this stream and I'm going to think of it then.
Superman's up there.
Is that guilty pleasure? I don't feel guilty that I like Superman the movie or Superman 2. I might feel guilty that I watch Superman 4 The Quest for Peace from time to time.
Scott says, yes, this is fun and funny stream.
Good.
Joseph said he didn't hear the answer to the Harry Potter. What's your favorite book and movie?
Okay. So my favorite book is book 6. And my favorite movie is movie number 7 and 8, which is part 1 and 2 of book 7. Very confusing.
Anime 116 says, would you be interested in reading it? And unfortunately, I don't remember what that was. I'm trying to find out.
My wife is doing the research.
I can't find it.
How excited would you be for a live-action Spider-Verse movie? Who's your Spider-Man? Oh, man, live-action Spider... I would be excited for that. My favorite Spider-Man is Tom Holland. Like, he is my favorite. So, to see, like, somehow the other Spider-Men get drug into our MCU world, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Go Time Now says, where do you think Aliens and Terminator should have ended, and what new direction would you take them individually?
Where should Alien and Terminator ended? Let's see. I think Terminator. Oh, man.
After 2.
Yeah, it definitely probably should have really finished after 2. The reason that's hard for me to answer is because I really like Terminator Salvation. So, but that's almost kind of like a side prequel-ish kind of movie, so that could always just be a fun movie on the side. Honestly, I like Dark Fate, and I feel like if you ignore everything else and you just let Dark Fate be in there, that's kind of a nice cap on the trilogy. It's definitely not the best. Probably of that trilogy, it would be the worst, but I still find Dark Fate to be a very good, entertaining movie. So I think Dark Fate is a good place to end it. So I really wouldn't do anything different there. Alien definitely should have ended after Aliens. Like 100%. And I read some, what was I reading? I don't know. There's stuff I heard about the other Aliens that would have been way better if they had gone other directions, but I don't know. I would have liked to have seen Alien, like an actual Aliens 3 pick up with Ripley and her boyfriend and Newt, like, and not have them die unceremoniously in the beginning in their sleep. Go on. What else we got?
Sorry, somebody, I lost my spot. I didn't hear your answer to my question on Spectacular Spider-Man. That was doing an analysis on the show.
Oh, who would be my, like, who would I cast as Spectacular Spider-Man?
No, your analysis on it. Would you do one on that?
Oh, yes, I would do one on that. I need to get through Castlevania, but I should be able to do that pretty quick.
Okay, Animake116, can you please post the question again? I'm sorry, I can't seem to find it.
It happens to the best of us.
Jeremiah said, I'm going to have to leave soon, so I just wanted to say you inspire me so much, seeing wholesome Christian nerdy YouTuber. And
Thank
as
you.
a 15-year-old in our world today, I need inspiration.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.
Enjoy being homeschooled.
Yes, enjoy being homeschooled online and all of that. Awesome.
So Half-Blood Prince for the book and Deathly Hallows for the... Oh, got it. Okay.
Yep.
I really like Terminator Rise of the Machines. I thought the TX kicked butt.
Which one was Rise of the Machines was the third one? Yes, I did like the TX in that one. She was pretty awesome. I thought that movie was kind of fun, but it's in the ending, you know, very dark, very cool, but like, I don't know. As a whole, it didn't add too much for me, but I agree with you about the TX.
Berserk the Kid says, do you prefer movies with subtle religious context or movies about religion? Subtle religious. I
think I'd have to go with subtle because I'm telling you, I want Christian movies to be good. I really do. They got to figure out how to stop what they do, which is they start a story and then they pause the story to see, isn't that clever what we did there? Did you see what we did? Here's the message. Let's spell it out for you. It's like, you got to stop doing that and just tell a story. Get me into the characters.
Jonathan said, agreed, Ridley Scott really ruined the Alien franchise with Prometheus and Covenant.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on Prometheus. There's things about it that I really like. And I think what I like is when it feels like it has nothing to do with Alien. And then when they try to tie it back into Alien, it's like, I think I totally get that. But there's so much about that movie that is still kind of interesting.
Film Trigger said, Back to the Future sequel universe thoughts.
Back to the Future sequel universe. I'd rather have a universe than a sequel because Back to the Future is so good just the way it is. I love it. And so I'm nervous about like the ideas of rebooting it or like coming back to it. But there is that part of me that would be curious, what would it look like completely updated? And if they do a Back to the Future universe, what weird timeline are we in that 2015 has come and gone and we don't have flying cars? That'd be kind of fun for them to deal with.
Pinkie Pie says, also, you're a very sweet man. Thank you. I agree.
Thank you. Laura agrees. That's nice.
Egosa says, are you a fan of the Karate Kid movies?
I haven't seen them in ages, so I'm going to have to say kinda. I've seen them and I like them, and the one I remember most is the first one. And then I saw the remake with Jaden Smith, which I like Jackie Chan in that.
Go Time Now says, what are your thoughts on Vin Diesel movies? That explains it.
Sharknado. They're fun. They're not the best.
Joseph wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Jurassic Park World movies?
I like them. I think the first Jurassic World restored the magic back to the Jurassic Park franchise, because like the Lost World Jurassic Park was okay until the T-Rex was in San Diego. Jurassic Park 3 just was not good to me at all. I feel like Jurassic World is the best of the sequels. Fallen Kingdom, not as good, but I like the ideas in Fallen Kingdom. For instance, spoiler, the way it ends with the dinosaurs actually loose in America in the wild. I think that's a fantastic setup for Jurassic World 3. So there's things about it that I like. It's just not as good. But what's not to like? I mean, they're fun, dumb movies.
Berserk the Kid says, are you a fan of 2D animation as a style, or do you prefer CGI and 3D animation?
Man.
I think it depends on the story.
For me, it really does depend on the story, because I've been going back through Disney Plus, and I wasn't planning on reviewing these movies. I was really like just watching movies for fun. And now that we're all quarantined, it's like, yeah, I should go back and review them. But like Treasure Planet and Atlantis Lost Empire, they are fantastic 2D drawn movies. So it's the story. Give me a really, really good story and I'm in. And it could either be the 3D CGI or the 2D.
Okay, I'm thinking, so Anna just posted, and this is the story she wants to know your thoughts on. Two boys meet in the world of Narnia. But a ring of power turns the boys into enemies. Both have dark pasts. One was in the German army during World War II. One was forsaken by the world. Thanks to Jadis.
Write that. That sounds really, really interesting. Write that. Yes.
Eagles Wings want to know if you will ever make a sequel to the Meg 2018.
I hope they do. I want to see Meg
Sharknado.
2. Oh my God. Talk about a Sharknado movie. Yeah, that was high budget Sharknado minus the NATO. Just a giant shark. And yes, I'm down. Give me a Meg 2 for sure.
Jonathan said he changed the alien's premises from a terrifying, unstoppable monster to an arrogant robot with a god complex. Go Time Now wants to know what your thoughts are on The Rock movies.
I like The Rock. I like his charisma. I don't know how I feel about that Mummy movie he was in. Because he came out as all CG at the end there. That kind of ruined it. But otherwise, like, I do like The Rock. I think he's a really good actor. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Berserk the Kid wants to know, if you were alive during the Crusades, would you go or stay behind?
I
don't know.
I would hope I would have stayed behind. I mean, what did Jesus say? Will be known by our love. So that's how I'd want to live.
Film Trigger says, would you rather a sequel to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man or Mark Webb Spider-Man?
Honestly, Mark Webb. I feel like Mark Webb had really interesting places to go. And getting deeper into the background of Spider-Man's parents in those movies, and his dad, like, designing the spiders and the serum in the spiders, like, that was awesome.
Scott wants to know if you know a song called Surfin' Bird by the Trashmen.
No, I do not.
I don't know. Joseph wants to know, or says, I loved Leonard Nimoy's performance in Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Yes, he did a really good job. What's so funny is, I kept thinking that voice sounds really familiar. Where do I know that? It took till the end, the credits, and I saw Leonard Nimoy's name.
Egosa said, do you really appreciate classic movies or simply enjoy them?
It depends on the classic movie. I mean, there's probably a lot that I don't care about, a lot that I enjoy, and probably a lot that I really love. So it kind of just depends. I don't know. There's not a lot just popping into my head right now.
Scott says, have you seen The Mask of Zorro? It's coming to 4K.
Really? Was that the first one with Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins? Because if it was, I have seen that one. Did you see it, Laura?
Yeah, it's good.
It is a good one.
Eagle Wings, do you think you'll ever do a collab video with Austin Burke?
Austin, I would love to do a collab video with you, buddy. So yes, I do think eventually I could do a fun collab with Austin Burke.
Berserk the Kid said, what do you think about Disney's live action remakes?
I like the Jungle Book.
What I think.
Laura just the whole thing. I like the Jungle Book.
That one was good.
Actually, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
Magic Dragon. Was that the live action remake?
Oh,
technically?
yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. It's not called the Magic Dragon, though, is it? Pete's Dragon.
There it is.
Pete's Dragon was good. I enjoyed that.
I was thinking Puff Magic.
Those are the only two.
Thoughts on MCU direction after Endgame?
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. There's a part of me that's sad that it's shows on Disney Plus and movies, and now you got to kind of have both worlds together to understand. It's one of the reasons I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wasn't really into it after season 2, but I was only watching it in case it tied into the movies, and when it didn't, I gave up. And so I'm kind of hoping we don't get, like, oversaturated by doing shows and movies, and you have to have both to understand what's going on.
Go Time Now says, do you think Man of Steel should have been split into 2 movies because it was kind of cramped, a lot of plot and story in just one movie?
I mean, I guess I see what you mean there. I think Man of Steel is just really good. What we really needed was a solo sequel. And let the sequel, Superman, deal with the aftermath of the destruction, what the world thinks of him and that destruction, and really develop his character past that point before doing Batman vs. Superman. I think that was probably, to me, that's where things were rushed. I don't think Man of Steel was rushed, but I think it deserved a solo sequel before we started combining everything.
Seth says, I would choose Spider-Man 4 over The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Scott says, when you watch the first Terminator movie, who do you root for?
When I watch the first Terminator movie, who am I rooting for? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's hard, man. Who am I actually rooting for? Because Schwarzenegger's just awesome in that one, but he's evil. So, like, I don't want him to win.
You go back and forth.
Yeah.
Jonathan says, have you seen the Transformers, the movie from 1986?
Transformers from No, I haven't.
Saw it in 1986.
I heard it's really sad, though. For some reason, when I was a kid, I didn't get into Transformers. And then they did these movies, and now I'm less into Transformers, so I might have to go back and check it out.
Berserk the Kid said, what is your favorite kids cartoon? I liked Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was traumatic, but good.
Man. Yeah, Courage was good. I liked SpongeBob SquarePants a lot. I liked a lot of Nicktoons. A lot of those old Nicktoons, like SpongeBob SquarePants, Hey Arnold, Angry Beavers. That show was kind of hysterical. I liked a lot of those.
Joseph said also Michael J. Fox's Milo. He was great too.
Yes, Michael J. Fox was great in Atlantis.
Scott says favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Mine is The Terminator.
Oh, man. What is my favorite Arnold? Oh, my gosh. Last Action Hero was up there because it's so ridiculous. The Conan movies, they're a lot of fun. I watched those a lot as a child. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. Yeah, that's hard, man. Oh, True Lies. There, that's a really good one.
Jonathan said, I hope to see a decent representation of Galactus in the MCU.
That would be cool.
Barbara asked if you're going to see Bloodsport. You did.
Yeah, I did see Bloodsport. Is there a new one being made? I wouldn't mind seeing that if there's a new one. The old one was good, though, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I enjoyed that. I haven't seen that in ages. It's worth going back.
Go Time Now says, do you think that Hasbro making a cinematic universe consisting of Transformers, Dungeons & Dragons, Microverse, Gem, and the Holograms, and G.I. Joe? What do you think? Wait, what? Yeah. What do you think of it?
Why?
Yeah.
That's what I think of that. Don't do that. That sounds weird.
Yeah, so not a good idea?
No. None of that fits together.
Oh, this is going to be a hard one.
Oh, let's do it. What is it?
What is your favorite John Wick movie? All of them as one.
Oh,
binge it.
Laura has a really good answer there. I can't even pick. They all got things that, some of them have things that I like better than others, but my head is going to explode. I don't want Keanu Reeves to chase me if I pick one over the other. No, I'm all three.
Barbara said it's the new one. And yes, he did see the new Bloodsport, and there should be a review that came out about a week ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
You know that you did. You did a week ago, the Bloodsport movie.
Bloodshot.
Oh.
Did you say that wrong?
No, she put Bloodsport.
Oh, okay. I was going to blame my wife there.
Yeah.
Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. That's what you mean, right?
Go Time Now says, are you a fan of the Kung Fu movies? Kung Fu movies.
A lot of them, yes. I love martial arts movies. Some of the older ones, like, I don't know, like the sound effects on them because they're so old, like, are not always my favorite. But I gotta tell you, those 90s Jackie Chan movies, oh my gosh. Film Trigger, you've never seen John Wick. How were we ever friends?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Steve.
Film Trigger also asked Back to the Future sequel, someone finding or inheriting the DeLorean. Start the universe from there. Just saying.
That's a good idea, Steve. I'd go with it.
But then first see John Wick.
Yeah, but see John Wick. Then you can continue talking. Otherwise, you're forbidden.
Yeah, Jonathan said, do you know that they are making a reboot of Mortal Kombat?
I did. I did not see the original movies.
Berserk the Kid said, what are your favorite old movies? Also, do you think old movies with racist parts like Gone with the Wind should be praised as masterpieces today? Does racism cancel out quality for you?
Oh my goodness. You know, it is kind of funny when you go back into older movies and you just find those things that are so taboo now that I guess nobody really thought of then. I guess it depends on the context. You know, it's hard when you talk about older movies because I am more of a newer movie kind of guy. So for me, an old movie is stuff from like the 80s, in which case I freaking love them because I love Star Wars and I love the Superman movies. And, you know, I love those.
A lot of the old classics.
I wouldn't say I hate the old classics, but Laura's right. I don't visit a lot of the old classics ever.
Egosa asked, what is your opinion on James Cameron as a director?
I think he does some good movies. I hear he is super hard to work with on set. And the stories I've heard probably mean I would have a hard time working on set with him. But let me tell you what, that dude pumps out some really good movies. And yeah, so I like him as a director. I can't believe he's taken this flippin' long on these Avatar sequels. Out of sight, out of mind. It is 2020. The last one came out in 2009.
So Seth said John Wick 1 is his favorite.
Good, Seth.
And then Film Trigger said, I'll see myself out. Just see them.
See them, Steve. Yeah. Like, seriously, see yourself out now and watch John Wick. Then let's talk.
And then Seth followed up. John Wick 1 is great. John Wick 2 is pretty good. And I really enjoyed John Wick 3 more than the second. I can agree with that.
Laura agrees with that. I have a hard time. You know, it's like...
John Wick 1 is the best. Because it's the original.
Yeah, I guess. I guess when you're first being introduced to that world is the best. But it's hard. They're all so good.
So Joseph says, how about a rebooted Knight Rider series with Anne Hathaway as a lead? The classic 82 Trans Am as Kit.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, Barbara, no worries that you had the wrong title. It happens to us all the time.
I say the wrong things all the time and have to go back and reshoot stuff all the time. So don't worry.
Yes. Luke said, how are you handling the COVID-19 hysteria? Doing all right? I extended this question to everyone in the chat.
Well, awesome. Well, I hope everyone in the chat is handling this COVID-19 thing pretty good. I feel like I'm handling it pretty well. I work at a one-room movie theater, like a one-screen theater. And it's shut down right now due to COVID-19. My church is shut down right now due to COVID-19. But while I may have lost that income for a while from the one-screen theater, now my church has brought me in to make all of these pre-service things and to keep a strong online presence, kind of like what I do here for Durbania, but for them. And so it's kind of, for me, like that kind of balances itself out. And I'm finding myself very busy even being quarantined.
Barbara said, this is awesome. Thanks for doing a Q&A.
You're welcome, Barbara. Thank you for joining.
Berserk the Kid said, are reboots ever needed?
Sometimes. Like, I think Superman needed a reboot. I mean, Superman Returns was good. But, you know, it's hard to follow the Christopher Reeve movie. Because here you are trying to have Superman Returns take place, like, 5 years after the last Christopher Reeve Superman movie? And that was the 80s, and Superman Returns came out in 2006, and suddenly they have, you know, cell phones. Superman needed a reboot. He needed a way to fit. So I think there's times where it's okay.
Just not like 3 years after the last one.
I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but I mean, my gosh, in my lifetime, just years apart, I went Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Look at how many times Batman's been rebooted. After a while, it gets kind of annoying.
Yeah. A good time now. Predictions
sometimes.
On future movies that could beat Endgame at the box office.
Future movies that could be Endgame at the box office.
I don't know.
Well, Endgame 2. If DC can pull it together If they can pull it together, they can do it. They really can.
Should New Mutants get a theater release?
Yes. But at this point, I doubt it. I doubt it's ever gonna get it. Just drop it on Disney Plus. Come on, let's do this. I've waited since what, 2017? Give me this movie.
Luke said, I'm curious if the toilet paper crisis is prevalent everywhere. It's bigger over here in Australia.
Wow. I kind of heard things like in Australia it's bigger, but it's big here, right, Laura? Like the last time you went, could you find toilet paper?
Well, luckily we had some, but I haven't found any in the last 3 weeks.
So my wife hasn't found any in the last 3 weeks, so and we went to the store Monday and there was none. So yeah, I think it's everywhere and it's depressing.
We still have some. Jonathan said, I did not like Avatar. I saw it as an expensive tech demo, but about Dancing with Wolves with Smurfs in space.
Yes, I thought Pocahontas in space, but that Dances with Wolves is very close to. I enjoyed it. I don't dislike it. I thought it was really good. I think the first time I saw it, I was blown away because it really did look good, especially in 3D. I don't know why that movie could look so good in 3D and other movies just can't. But that one looks so good in 3D. And I think at first all of that blew me away. But as time has gone on, it's like I still enjoy it, but I see exactly what you're saying.
Joseph, in regards to the Knight Rider reboot, he said Hasselhoff could play her dad. Only what's this virus that he wants to come over and talk nerd?
Okay. Let's do it. Let's nerd.
Anamique116 says, are you going to review Hacksaw Ridge? I think we have a review for it.
Yeah, I think I did.
I think I did it with you.
I think we really enjoyed Hacksaw Ridge, and that is an example of a Christian movie that I think is really, really solid and very good. So yeah, we already got a video up for that.
Seth said, do you have any movie suggestions? I watched Jojo Rabbit like 3 times in the last 5 days. Watch John Wick again.
Yeah, watch John Wick again, then watch John Wick 2 again, then watch John Wick 3 again.
Oh, and watch the Clone Wars show.
Oh, Seth, Clone Wars. Yes, this is the time to binge it and get all caught up and see like the good part of the prequels. I've been watching The Simpsons a lot on Disney Plus. That's kind of fun. Castlevania on Netflix, if you're allowed to watch rated MA stuff on Netflix. I'm sure you are.
Eagles Wings have you played any of the Uncharted games?
I played a little bit of the first Uncharted game, and here's what happened. I got to this place, and I got boxed in by all these guys with guns, and they kept killing me, and I went back to Mario.
So Jonathan said, it's strange to see the hysteria about COVID-19 in the States, but here in South Africa, we are taking a more chilled and a more calm and measured reaction to it. I wish we would too.
Yeah,
that's what we should be
I
doing.
like the being smart. So let's be smart about things. The fear has been ridiculous. So I'm glad it's a little bit different in South Africa. By the way, how close are you to Durban, South Africa? I want to go so bad.
Seth says Jojo Rabbit is his favorite movie from 2019.
Nice.
And wants to know what your favorite film of 2019 was. Do you remember?
Probably.
You did a top 5 review.
I did. What did I put in that top 5? I know Endgame was either number 1 or number 2.
It was Endgame, probably.
Yeah, it was probably Endgame. And Rise of Skywalker was pretty close there. But Endgame is freaking fantastic.
And Seth thinks The Mask deserves a reboot.
Yeah.
He said make it R-rated and more gory.
I guess so. I mean, I liked The Mask. I thought Jim Carrey was great in it. I guess I don't see it as this like cult classic kind of thing. I don't know. I'm fine with it being left alone, honestly. I don't care.
Good Time Now says Monsterverse, thoughts and quick ranking.
Oh, man. Thoughts. It's not as bad as apparently all the critics are saying. So a very quick ranking. I think last place would be The Mummy. Followed by, oh my gosh, what was the other one?
Well, there's Invisible Man.
Is that
part of it?
That is part of it. Well, sort of, but we'll count it. So Invisible Man is part of it. There was 3.
I can't think of it either.
Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe, wow.
Oh, that's bad. That means we didn't like it.
Okay, so maybe there is a reason the Monsterverse. Okay, let's just say this. Number 1 is Dracula Untold. I really enjoy Dracula Untold. Probably number 2 would be The Invisible Man, and definitely last place is The Mummy.
The internet says New Mutants is a cursed movie.
It must be. Like, it just keeps on getting pushed back. Gosh.
Luke says that's a good shout with an R-rated mask film. The comic books is extremely crazy and violent. I didn't know it was a comic book. I should have. It makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense that it's a comic book.
Yeah.
I never read it. So yeah, if somebody wants to reboot it, make it closer to the I would be curious, but I don't know. Like, it's just kind of whatever.
Yeah, and Film Trigger agrees it needs to be rebooted, but does it need to be R? It just should be dark.
Film Trigger, what are you doing? You should be binging John Wick.
Berserk the Kid says, what, in your opinion, makes or break a movie?
Oh gosh. Let's see.
It's got to be entertaining.
Yes, it's got to be entertaining.
And not a dramedy.
Yes, and this is me personally. I don't like dramedies. Either make it a comedy or a drama. I don't like dramedies. That's stupidest concept ever. But give me good, solid writing with engaging characters. That's what I want. I want a good plot, and I don't like character-driven movies and line-driven movies. I want a story-driven movie. So to me, that's what makes a good movie. So give me that solid story with some meaning in it, and I'm sold.
In your MonsterVerse, you forgot Godzilla and Kong.
Well, that's a different MonsterVerse, though. That's like, so like you have the Dark Universe. I got it backwards. Okay, so now
Yeah,
I was ranking the Dark Universe. They're all monsters. It's so confusing. Everybody wants a universe. Good golly. Oh, man. I think my favorite is Kong. I like Kong Skull Island. Followed by Godzilla. What was the new Godzilla one called? King of Monsters?
Yeah, I think so.
That one. And then the first Godzilla is last place.
What?
That's right, Steve. Fine. I'll do a John Wick review series. Am I allowed back in the chat? No, yes, you're allowed back in. I'll do it with you, by the way.
Yeah, Joseph says, do you like classic Doctor Who or do you like the revamped series? You haven't really watched it.
I'm sorry. It's one of those, like, being the nerd that I am. I know, like, I watched the first 5 episodes of the revamped series, and I just didn't get any further.
Scott says, I don't think X-Men Dark Phoenix was as bad as everyone made it out to be. It wasn't great. I just thought it was decent.
You know, I think I could agree with that. You know, like, as we're seeing people like to exaggerate everything, I definitely don't think Dark Phoenix is a good X-Men movie, but it's not bad as bad as everybody is saying it is. It's fun. It's decent.
Seth says, I will probably watch a ton of Disney Plus stuff. Speaking of which, what are your thoughts on them releasing Onward on Disney Plus on April 3rd?
Are they doing that?
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Because honestly, I liked Onward. I did. It's not a bad movie, but there was something missing when I saw it on the big screen, like a certain depth that it lacked that some of the other Pixar movies have had. And that's not me trying to get super negative about it. It's good. So actually, I think Disney Plus is the perfect place for it. And I'm actually really excited that's coming out. Oh my gosh, it fell again. I got a notification and it vibrated my phone. Oh, I flipped the image. Let's see. Look at that. Okay, here's a studio tour.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. Oh, there it is. There's the flip button. Haha. Done. We are back to normal.
Now everyone see my fabric.
Yes, that over there is Laura's fabric. She has a home business of selling fabric.
And it's a good sound buffer.
Yes. I think that was a notification from Sean Chandler, Tyler Tompkins, and Cody Leach as they're talking on our Facebook chat, causing my phone to vibrate and fall off its precarious position. So thank you, guys.
Egosa asks if you've ever seen Silence of the Lambs.
No.
That's on the list that he needs to watch.
Good. I'll put it on the list.
Jonathan said, I'm about 350 miles from Durban, South Africa.
Nice. That's still really far. But I would love to go there. Maybe we can meet up if I go there.
Barbara says, this is so exciting. Chris, I can watch you all day, and your MC Laura is doing a fabulous job.
Thank you, MC Laura.
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm glad that you can enjoy the sheer amount of times that either my microphone hasn't worked or I've dropped the cell phone because my laptop didn't work.
Eagles Wing says, are you excited for Batman or The Batman 2021?
I am. I'm very curious about it. Probably more curious than excited. And the fact that, talk about this movie has been going on for years. I don't want to hear talk. I want the movie. But yes, I am looking forward to it. I want to see what they do. I like Matt Reeves.
So Joseph said, I think Universal should have done a Knight Rider Magnum PI crossover episode.
Knight Rider Magnum PI crossover. That would be good.
Scott says, are you watching Harley Quinn series on the DC Universe?
No, I don't have the DC Universe. there wasn't enough on there to hold my attention. And I tried some of those other shows. There's a reason the DC Universe streaming thing is going away.
That was my last question.
Oh my gosh. Well, we've been on for about an hour and 4 minutes. Can you believe that? It's been disastrously fun, and I'm so excited all of you have a reboot of Indiana Jones, yay or nay? Nay. Nay, my dear friends. Nay. We do not reboot Indiana Jones. Bad movie studios. Bad. You leave Dr. Jones alone.
The kid said, can movies be vehicles for political views or should they stay out of them? Have you watched a movie that handled politics well? Game of Cards or Cards, whatever that show is.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't handle it well, though.
House of Cards.
There it is. That did not handle.
House of Cards was interesting, but mainly because it wasn't trying to make a political statement. You were just fascinated by how evil Kevin Spacey could be. And it was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I don't know. I tend to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Coach Time now says, thanks for being so wholesome, you and your wife.
We really do try. That's the goal.
Jonathan said, have you seen Velvet Buzzsaw? And what do you make of the rumors that Spider-Man could make an appearance in the next Venom Carnage movie?
I had never even heard of Velvet Buzzsaw. And without you telling me anything about it, just because of that title, I am now going to look it up and probably check it out. I think bringing, especially if it's the Tom Holland Spider-Man into Venom 2 would be fantastic. I would love that. So, hour and 6 minutes, Laura, do you think we should go ahead? Actually, there's still 13 people watching. This is incredible. Thank you.
Scott says, well, I'll pick how many more questions you want.
Let's do 5 more questions, and we'll just slowly begin to wrap it up. This has been a blast, though, and I'm so grateful for all of you for hanging out. So let's do 5 more questions.
Underrated Star Wars game? You haven't really played.
I haven't really played a whole lot of Star Wars games. So, 5 more, starting now.
What is your favorite comic book movie of all time? Seth says his is Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition.
That's not my favorite of all time, but that is way better than the theatrical cut. My favorite, comic book movie of all time? Gosh, that is really, really hard. Maybe Superman the movie because of the nostalgia and how it made me love Superman and really get into that character. Maybe Batman 1989 because of how it drew me in. But then maybe the death and return of Superman, those animated movies. It's hard for me to pick. There's a lot of good comic book movies.
So I'm just going to let you all know Chris is not much of a gamer. Because we have somebody asking if you played Halo 4 and what your favorite scene was.
I haven't played Halo 4. I played Halo 1 and 2 religiously and was terrible at them. And then that's kind of where it ended for me.
And then Scott says, I remember playing Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Force 2 on the PC and nobody talks about that game.
Yeah, I have never played it.
Sorry, that's why we're not talking about it. Joseph says, also, I think the next Indiana Jones movie should be called Indy and the Anna Jones and the Tomb of Osiris.
Indy and the Anna Jones? I used to call him Anna Jones when I was a kid. Yeah.
Phone Trigger says, love the channel and John Wick reviews series with you. Let it be written. Let it be done. I have spoken.
Yeah. Oh, you have spoken. So look for that now in the future because Film Trigger is going to go through and binge the John Wick movies. And then guess what he and I are going to do? And we just decided it here now in live that we're going to come together. I don't know whether it's going to be his channel or my channel. We'll figure that out. And we're going to talk about John Wick. So stay tuned.
All right, with that.
Was that 5 questions?
Well, I don't have any more.
Oh, okay, there's no more. So perfect time.
Scott very nicely said we're nice people.
Oh, thank you so much.
We love you all, just so you know.
Any future series recaps?
Oh, did I?
No, it just came in.
Okay.
I don't have any off the top of my head right now, except maybe going over the series of John Wick and recapping that with Film Trigger.
Well, in the Clone Wars TV show.
I will do that when season 7 is done. So I'm waiting for season 7 to be done, and I want my thoughts to come together. And I'm also going to do that with Castlevania. Once I finish all the seasons, we'll see how my thoughts flow together with that one. So, with that said, my gosh, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this disastrously fun live stream. Okay, if you missed the beginning, my computer died, so I have to do this on my cell phone. I had it set up on a makeshift tripod that happened to cover the microphone. So I held it with my shaky arms that were getting tired, which covered up that microphone, and I dropped my phone about 10 times. It has been a thing, and yet all of you have been here, and it's been a blast hanging out with you. So I guess this would be me, live and unplugged and unedited. So now you get to see what it's like when I sit here and do stuff without, cutting it out. So thank you all so much. And Jeremy, hello to you as well.
Go Time Now says, God bless.
Thank you, Go Time Now.
Says, could you do a watch-along party with the movies?
Yes. In fact, Film Trigger was trying to see if he could get me to do one this Saturday, but I'm trying to play catch-up with Durbania on Saturday. So actually, Film Trigger and I were thinking about doing a watch party sometime in the near future as well. So that could be something that's coming down the line.
All right.
Okay. Well, that is it, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for spending this time with me. Honestly, sometimes it's easier to do this and not have something to edit. I'm actually going to go back and continue editing all this awesome stuff I'm doing for my church. So if you're quarantined and you're looking for church, Agape Slow, SLO, Agape Slow, .online, .church. And you could see something I've never done before, which is try to put that together. It's coming together really nice. So if you're really looking for somewhere to belong this Sunday, I invite you to come to church with me. So there you go. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, I did it again. Well, what would it be without it happening one more time? All right, you guys. Where's the stop button on this crazy live thing? Have a great night. Where is the stop button on this crazy live thing?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there it is. Good night.
Good night.